Hey guys, this week I want to give you some tips for your Vanish 9. Vanish 9 is a really good tool to have in your pocket as a trigger. It helps you string tricks together in a combo, and you can combo out of your power tricks with it once you're comfortable. You can use it almost how you'd use a hook kick in a combo, except there's no pause. It just keeps your momentum going and you keep spinning. So you want to be decently comfortable with your cheat 9 first, because Vanish 9 essentially just means you're going directly into a cheat 9 from another trick. Some people actually say Vanish cheat 9 instead of just Vanish 9, which is basically what it is, so you can call it either one. When you do a Vanish 9, rather than just a cheat 9, you're carrying over the momentum from the previous trick, so that might throw it off depending on what trick you're doing before it, or it might just give you a lot more momentum than you're used to. It's important to find the right body positioning and the right balance from the first trick into the Vanish 9, because you want your takeoff into the 9 to be comfortable and predictable. So that means whatever trick you're doing into the Vanish 9, whether it's a btwist or whatever it is, you want that to be really comfortable too, because you have to be able to set up your momentum in exactly the right way. After you're comfortable with Vanish 9, you'll be able to do it out of a lot of different setups really easily, but while you're learning, try to be really aware of how the first trick influences the second trick, which is the cheat 9 or the Vanish 9. Different tricks will give you different kinds of momentum and it can really throw you off. For example, pretty commonly you'll see btwist Vanish 9, which it flows really nicely, but picture this. Imagine you're doing btwist Vanish 9, and then you switch it up and try A-twist Vanish 9, so aerial twist, which is just like a btwist. You'll Vanish 9 out of it just the same way, except the aerial twist has a lot more momentum on the flip axis. So as you go to do the 9, all that flip momentum will basically be trying to throw you off axis. And if you go off axis on a cheat 9, it can potentially be hazardous. A few years ago I was training at a gathering and I just went to do a simple combo starting with a cheat 9, and I leaned a little bit too far forward, and instead of landing properly and kicking, I basically landed in middle splits while I was twisting, and I really wrecked myself and couldn't really train for like 6 months after that. So on a cheat 9 you want to stay vertical. On attack is basically a cheat 9 with a full flip in it. So if you really flip, it turns into attack. If you stay level, you're doing a cheat 9. Anywhere in the middle, there's a gray zone that can be pretty dangerous if you land wrong, so just be aware of that on your Vanish 9s. Whatever setup you're doing, let's take scoop for example. You don't want to step through to here and then vanish from there. Keep this foot behind this one, so basically in this position, as you land the scoot or whatever trick, lean back onto that foot. And then you'll vanish from there. It'll help you keep moving in your combo so you can do a trick out of it. A lot of the tough part is just trying to find the balance. So if you're taking off for the Vanish 9 and you're leaning too far forward, the twist will all happen on this axis here, and you won't be able to get the kick out. Or if you lean too much, which is how I injured myself, you take off and you go like this, and you end up like this. Essentially, you can feel it out for yourself, the right position for your takeoff. You want to spin around and get to the point where you can throw a comfortable round kick. So for my round kick, when I'm coming out of a cheat 9 and I'm mid combo, I like to lean a little bit this way because I want to keep comboing, and a little bit away from the kick because I have to balance the kick out. Boom. So that's the lean you want coming out of the Vanish 9. Find out how to get there in the air. I think the main problem that most trickers have is that we tend to overflip. It's hard to stay on axis while you twist because we're used to doing fulls and stuff. So I'll give you a few tips to help that. Firstly, make sure your body is straight while you're twisting. Your shoulders, hips, knees have to all be aligned. You don't want to be like this because then you'll wobble yourself off axis. Secondly, a lot of us have habits of how to set from fulls and stuff like that. Make sure your set is nothing like your set for a full or a cork. You don't want to drop this shoulder, you want to keep both shoulders level. Don't set up over and look at the ground there. Remember where your target is, just twist. Another tip, something I tell a lot of people, something with your arms. I call it Ilya arms because I noticed that Ilya does this and I think it looks really good and it has a good function to it. So like for fulls, for example, and corks, we set over like this. This is almost the opposite, where this arm comes right across like this, your left arm comes up. So as you take off, it's like this. boom. This keeps you from overflipping, because one of the main reasons that people overflip is because as they're setting, they take this arm and they go like this, because that's what we do on a lot of other tricks. But if you don't want to flip as you're taking off, take this arm here and just pull it across this way. And this arm, if you leave it up, it kind of helps too. Alright, so now I'll give you some more specific tips for your actual Vanish 9. Firstly, the trick you decide to do it from. The most popular ones are probably btwist, rise, or even cheat 9, because you can cheat 9, Vanish 9, Vanish 9, you can do that repeatedly. Make sure you're comfortable with the position you're going to land in, so the trick you're doing it from is really comfortable. You want to make sure you're landing in the same position every time so that you know exactly where your balance is going to be when you take off for your Vanish 9. So again, if I'm traveling this way on my combo, you land your B-twist or whatever, make sure you don't rush this takeoff. You need this knee, your chi knee, to come up and come all the way across the camera. So you don't want to take off if your knee is still over here, because you have so much more twist to do, unless you're really going for that style. What I like to do is cheat it just enough so my knee comes past the camera, my knee is almost facing the direction I want to go, and then pull it from there. It's tough because you don't want to over cheat, because then it looks bad and potentially just looks like a tornado kick, and you don't want to under cheat because then it's like 8 times harder. Just keep playing with it until the takeoff is comfortable and the landing is comfortable. If the round kick is not comfortable to throw, it might just be a balance issue. While you're learning, it can feel really different one rep to the next until you really narrow it down. But it really is an attainable trick, and it really boosts the aesthetic of your combos if you start using it. For some of you guys watching this who can't 9 yet, Vanish 7, Vanish Tornado, Vanish Jackknife, even though these are lower level combos, these are some of the least used tricks in combos, in my opinion. I don't see them very often. People normally jump straight to the 9, but if you're not quite at Vanish 9 yet, play around with some of the other simpler Vanish kicks. They're really underused. If you're really good at Vanish 9, here's a challenge for you. Take a power trick that you'd normally use at the end of your combo, and I want you to start a combo with it. So cart dub, for example, Vanish 9, hook, cart dub. Or just basically try to Vanish 9 out of one of your high level tricks. Instead of stomping it, it's just a little more awareness at the end, and you can easily Vanish 9 out of it and keep comboing. Good luck working on this trick, guys. Remember, take it slow, build the awareness. Don't just huck this trick, because if you lose your axis and you don't know exactly where you are, the landing can be really sketchy, and I know from experience. So just take it slow, build the awareness, and I promise you'll be throwing Vanish 9 out of everything really soon. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial, guys. If you don't already know, this is actually a shortened version. There's a longer version with even more tips and tricks for you guys on Kojo's Trick Lab. If you're not familiar with Kojo's Trick Lab, I'll introduce you. KTL is a website where some of the best trickers share knowledge and tips through video tutorials. 6 new videos are added every week, and there's already over 250 videos online in a variety of categories. Not only do you get access to information you can't get anywhere else, but you're directly supporting trickers who create the content. It's by trickers, for trickers. Every week, I'll be creating a new tutorial for Kojo's Trick Lab. At the same time, I'll be uploading a shortened version to YouTube. The tutorial you just watched is actually about 60% of the full length. On Kojo's Trick Lab, you can watch the full version of this tutorial with an extra 3 to 4 minutes of beefy tips specifically for trickers. I've gotten a lot of support on my tutorials so far, and I want to keep providing content for you guys. That's why I'm going to be uploading to YouTube as well. But those of you who are self-motivated and thirsty for knowledge, I seriously recommend checking out Kojo's Trick Lab. It's a huge asset to your training, and I wish I had it when I started tricking. Use my affiliate link in the description below to check it out. Good luck, guys. I'll see you next week.